first of all, why these differences? What is it that we can do to attract more teachers into public schools and where we are right now?
Within the principle of the SDG goal, which of course is running up to 2030, and I'm sure it will run beyond 2030, and it has been there since 1948, Declaration of Human Rights, that education is a fundamental human right that the state must provide. The current goal is towards equitable, quality education for all. Equitable.
Doesn't matter.
So the principle of equity comes in and quality comes in. And so the rise of privatization, particularly in developing economies, is because of failing quality of delivery of education in public schools. And Kenya, with a strong background of Article 53 of the Constitution, that makes education a right to every child. It is not just a right, it is access to quality education. Every child must access quality education.
But clearly
and these
that
are the debates we've been having over time. And that is why we've agitated. Kenya now is putting at least 6% of the GDP to education. Kenya is continuing to recruit more teachers to public schools. And of course, during these reforms, we've undertaken and we've engaged in a lot of debates. And I would say education, the quality of education requires three things. Quality teachers, well recruited, well motivated, and well paid, whose salaries must be reviewed regularly. You know, salaries must be reviewed regularly, based on the cost of living. And I think teachers have a right in Kenya for their salaries to be reviewed regularly. Whereas we are doing very well comparable, it must be reviewed regularly. And then number two, the teachers must also be given quality teaching and learning tools. You cannot deliver teaching without tools, and not just tools, quality teaching and learning tools. And this is where government must invest. And of course, this question of teachers must innovate, it's not the right thing. It means we are grappling with trying to look for teaching tools, and you want the teacher to look for the tools himself. The government must provide the quality tools. And then number three, quality learning environment, schools. They must be safe, clean, secure. And so in that context, if we can convert our schools, our public schools here in Kenya, to ensure that one, we have enough teachers. Two, we have quality teaching and learning tools. Three, all our public schools are of good quality in terms of infrastructure and safe. Then there will be no need for private schools. And many economies, strong economies that have invested in education, do not have private schools. I've had a chance of visiting Denmark, and a classroom in Denmark, public school, does not exceed 28 learners. The moment it gets to 29, by the rule of that country and by the legislation, you must break that class into two. So you can see the high level of investment. So that the question is, are we investing as a country? Are we also focusing on quality delivery? Let me come to, and of course all this is hinged on politics. I'm one person who believes in politicizing education, particularly around elections, so that you make a government focus on what they will do. And I'm happy, I was in Kenya Kwanza, and we came up with a charter. Number one, the grade model within the Kenya Kwanza is putting more money in education. There will be what we call minimum essential package for small schools, schools with small enrollment, low enrollment. There will be more funds to day secondary schools, so that the quality of infrastructure, laboratories and the rest can match even that of a national school. And more county governments will be allowed to participate in building of schools. That is going to help. But in terms of teacher investment, and the president said in the voice message to teachers that I will respect, I will recognize, and I will support teachers. Those are great words from a presidential candidate.